Hello and welcome to the Cupcake Jemma channel. I'm Gemma, in case you didn't know, and this is the wonderful Crumbs and Doilies shop in Soho. Lots of you have been here, so it shouldn't be a surprise to you. And I haven't been here for a while making cookies, but this is like my happy place. And we're gonna make some cookies today. I'm channeling warmth. You know, outside, it still isn't spring yet. I'm thinking what I need in my life is my all year round favourite, sticky toffee pudding, but in cookie form. And the wonderful Nikki, who is behind the camera, has been busy in the test kitchen, developing lots of cookie recipes for us and you. And this is one of them. And as we all know, sticky toffee pudding is my favourite and Nikki's favourite. Let's get cracking. Now, with New York cookies, it's important not to overmix anything. So I always like to get everything that's mixed up in advance. So the first thing I'm gonna do is whisk my dry ingredients together. So I have 500 grams of plain flour, and I've got 2 teaspoons of ginger, ground ginger, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of sea salt. So just make sure that's all really well combined. That's that done. Now I'm going to do my eggs, because we add 2 eggs and an egg yolk, and I want them to all be broken up in advance. So whack those into a little bowl. Now, I've had my butter in the fridge because it's really important to use mega cold butter when you're making New York cookies, because again, you don't want to take too long with this and have the butter get soft. If the butter gets too soft, your cookies will spread a bunch. So you don't want that, because you want them to be nice and chunky. So I have 230 grams of cold chopped butter going in. Oh, the mixer's in the way, here we go. And then my sugars, of which I have 160 grams of dark soft brown sugar and 160 grams of caster sugar. And then you've got to remember how to use this mixer. And just on a low speed, get that moving. And what we want to do is just break the butter up so that it creates these big chunky nuggets. Right, when the butter is starting to sort of break up a little bit, you can add your additions. So in our case, we're going to be using a mixture of caramelised white chocolate, massive chunks, as you can see, which will also, they'll get broken up in the mixer a bit, so they're not going to stay this big. And then, so I've got 300 grams of that, and then 100 grams of chopped dates. You can buy dates already chopped if you want, or you can do what we did. I say we, Nikki did it. And let me just open this up so I can actually get in there and just shuffle that in. And this is when the mixer starts having a real party, because it's going to jump about a bit, guys. Just be prepared. Actually, this is quite a smooth mixer, it turns out. So we're going to mix this really briefly. All right, that's looking good. So we've got massive chunks of the chocolate. We've still got some big chunks of butter in there, but we need to add the dry ingredients. Now at this point, once we mix it in, we want to get it to a kind of sandy consistency, so a loose sand. Obviously taking into account all of those massive chunks we've got in there. Again, just a low speed, just let it tumble those bits and bobs around. And then when it reaches a loose sand consistency, stop mixing. Okay, we're sandy. Stop the mixer. And now it's egg time. And this is going to bind all those ingredients, but not too much. You don't want to bind it until it's like a dough, like a cohesive dough. So I might just do this with the mixer going. Why not? Oh yeah, so as you can see, it's not like a really smooth cookie dough. It's not completely like cohesive. I'm not even sure that's the right word. What I'm saying is we got nuggets. We've got lots of big chunky bits, and it's not all in one big kind of blob. And that's perfect. You don't want to overmix these guys. So I'm going to tumble it out onto the worktop. Try not to get Nikki with a gigantic chocolate chip. That smells amazing, and it's such a beautiful colour thanks to the dark brown sugar. And it's screaming sticky toffee pudding, but feel like there's one thing missing, and that is the sticky toffee element. And the only way to achieve that in this scenario is to give it a filling. So I've actually already made my filling. All I did was I got a pan, and into that I put 80 grams of chopped unsalted butter, 80 grams of muscovado sugar, and I got that melting over a low heat. Stirring it all the time, because sometimes what happens is the butter sort of separates and doesn't emulsify with the sugar. Once that's done, you can add 100 grams of double cream, 1/4 teaspoon of Marmite, and a little pinch of salt. And just give that a really good stir to combine it all, and then over a low heat again, just keep that bubbling away, stirring it all the time until it's thickened slightly for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then once it's ready, you can decant that into a jug, just pour it into the mold and then whack it into the freezer. And this is what I've got. And actually, I kind of really want to eat these. They look a bit like hard grandma toffees.
They are.
I guess they are, but once they come to room temperature, they'll be a lot sort of more melty and pulley, and they'll be really, really good when we open the cookies after baking, but we have to construct them first. So I've got my measuring scales here as per usual, because we're gonna weigh out these balls to be 125 grams. So just grab like a sort of moderate handful of your dough rubble until you reach 125 grams. Just keep sort of shoveling. Here we go. And then what we want to do is not too much squeezing and rolling, not too much manipulation. So I'm actually just barely gonna clunk it, because we want to get this stuff inside. So it's in my hand like this. I'm gonna put my thumb right in the middle to create a little cavity. Grab my little ball of joy and then just close it over. We're not trying to like smooth this out into a perfect circle. We want it to be craggy and rough and imperfect, because then it will bake into this lovely craggy, imperfect cookie. And then we'll put that into a container and keep on rolling. Now, as you know, these need to be freezing cold. You were worried about what I was going to say then, weren't you? They need to be freezing cold. So they need to go into the freezer for at least 4 hours, but preferably overnight, so that they are solid as a rock. Maybe you like also to sing the song while you're putting them in the freezer. But anyway, they're going in the freezer. I'll be back in 4 hours. That's what this love is. This thing is too hot.
Just do your washing up.
Oh, do I have to do it? Oh, it's so frustrating having to be a good girl and not break into one of these when they are molten hot. But I would have really hurt myself had I done it when they just came out the oven, because they're hot inside. But they've had plenty of time to cool down now, and I think it's only fitting that I show you a classic cookie break. Oh, it's all over the place. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? I'm gonna bite the middle bit out.
Go on.
Oh my God, this is sticky toffee heaven. That sauce is so delicious. It is smooth, got a little hint of umami from the Marmite. It's lovely and sweet, but nicely balanced. All those spices are coming through. Well done, Nikki. This is a solid cookie. I hope that you enjoy making these and then eating them like me. If you want to see these on the menu in Soho, please let us know in the comments below, because your wish might be our command, if enough of you want it. Which, like, I don't know why you wouldn't, to be quite honest. So let us know how you get on if you bake these. I'm very excited for you. So please do take pics. Use the hashtag Cupcake Jemma so we can see it, tag us, do all of that, share this video with anyone in your life who loves sticky toffee pudding or cookies or both. And I will see you in the not too distant future with another delicious baked good. Got a lot of cookie to eat now. I need another date. Ooh, got one. That's kind of healthy. There's nobody there.